Okay, welcome back to another Walking with Charlie, and we are way overdue on doing one of these things. I'm at least 2 weeks behind, but there's a good reason for that. It's been beautiful weather, and so I've been out enjoying it. And more importantly, Charlie's people, well, how about I just show you? Because I think we're going to rename this video series Extreme Makeover Charlie Edition. Hey, Charlie, someone had a haircut. Don't you look good? Pose for your fans, Charlie Bear. Good job. I'm going to put up a before and after picture so you can just see how dramatic the change has been for him. So here's the before picture. That's what he was looking like. That's the COVID lack of hair cutting that he had. And here's the new picture of what he looked like when he came home. Yeah, it's the same dog. You think we brought the wrong dog home, but no, it's the same dog. So Charlie looks fantastic. He's fit. He's like a puppy. He got all that hair cut off. I think he lost 2 pounds. And so he's been running around enjoying, and it's a great summer cut for him. He doesn't quite look like a schnauzer anymore, but there wasn't much to do. It was so mad they had to cut most of it off. So, but he's feeling good and fit and trim for the summer, which is great. So how are you doing? Let's talk about you for a minute. How are you coping with all this stuff? I told you when we started this little talk together, this was going to last a lot longer than probably anybody thought. So here we're 4+ months in, and I think it's going to keep going for a while longer, right? Things are starting to reopen. We'll see how that goes. We're watching in the US. It's like one big science experiment down there as different states and cities are opening at different speeds and velocities. And we knew we'd see the numbers surge. That's not a surprise. We knew that. You know, remember a huge part of this whole lockdown thing was not that we were going to stop getting sick. It was that we wouldn't all get sick at the same time, and it would let the healthcare system have a chance to kind of catch up and be able to manage the number of people who got sick. So it's normal that we'd see the numbers get higher, but at the same time, oh, we got a big dog over there, so we're going to go this way, Charlie. Come on. You don't need that friend. We knew the numbers were going to go up. That's not a surprise, but I think we also are hopeful that people are behaving themselves and following the social distancing and things. So, but what I wanted to talk about today is something that I'd mentioned in my book, Recalculating, which is about how we handle all the media and all the news. Because, like, I don't know about you, but I'm getting tired of some of the stuff about coronavirus and what have you, but we have to pay attention to it. So how do we fit, as it were, all those pieces of information and things together? Because, to be honest, these things are like having backseat drivers, right? We've got all these people trying to help us and giving us information, and most of it's well-intended, but it can drive us all over the place if we're not sure what to listen to and what not to listen to. So one of the things that you've probably been hearing a lot about that I wanted to cover today was, what's the shape of the recovery going to be like? There's a lot of people trying to figure that out, and you're hearing these things about a V-shaped recovery, right? Like it's really sharp down, which we had in March, and it's recovered really quickly, okay? Or is it a W? Right? So we've had that V shape, great, but is there another one coming if people don't behave themselves when going to another lockdown or another big economic disruption? So maybe we're just not done and there's another drop coming. And I had mentioned in my client update, that I'll put the link up above for you, that, you know, we're really going to see in the next few weeks if the worst is behind us or if we're just in the eye of the hurricane. We don't know yet. We don't know yet. But I think a better way to think about what's happening is to use a different letter, which is, I'll say that this is brought to you by the letter K. So I want you to imagine the letter K. Actually, I'll put one up here so we all know, remember what the letter K looks like. And I think if we reflect on the economy from that metaphor, I think we'll understand things a bit better about what's going on. So the first thing is, some businesses, they're gone. They're the straight part down on the letter K. We know that. There's a lot of small businesses and things that are basically, they're not coming back. They've already gone bankrupt or they're pretty much done. And we're going to see that, right? There's companies, restaurants, a lot of service industries, they just haven't made it. They're not going to. This disruption was too much for them. The kind of angle down part of the K, those are businesses that maybe they can pull out of this deep dive, maybe they can't, but certainly the future for them looks pretty tricky. Matter of fact, just today, I heard that WestJet in Canada, for example, has laid off another 3,000 employees today, a little more than that. So over the course of this pandemic, they went from 14,000 employees to under 4,000 now. And it's questionable if companies in airlines and travel, are they going to make it? Hard to know, right? Hopefully. But this pandemic, oh, they were also saying that air travel from the United States to Canada is down 98%. I think any business where your customers, 90% of your business kind of stopped, hard to come back from that. But they're not dead, but they're not in great shape. Okay, but other businesses are thriving, right? So that's the kind of the upward part of the case. Certainly there's businesses that have done very, very well. A lot of companies that are servicing people that are working from home, supporting businesses, and many businesses actually haven't been affected. The whole working from home thing, they've kind of taken it in stride, and they're still growing in this environment. And then there's the straight up part of the K, and we can see who those guys are, right? Like, go and try and buy a Bluetooth headset today, or anybody in the video conferencing networking business, or Amazon, like people bringing stuff to your home. Those businesses are growing like crazy because the whole world changed, and it changed in their favor. So there really isn't one solution. I think it really comes down to which part of the economy, which industry, which sector, which company, where are they? And I think if we use that K as a better way to think about where are they and where should we be investing, makes a lot more sense to me. Okay, so that's the update part of that. Now, the other thing I want you to think about, and this is a question that we're starting to ask clients right now, because it has been 4 months. Charlie found something really interesting over here. That's why I've stopped, because schnauzers, they sniff everything. I told you that. The other thing I want you to think about is we're all in a rhythm now, right? When this whole thing first began, I told you that there were silver linings in it if we found them, if we looked for them. And you know, did you do the chores around the house that we talked about? Did you build a circle of care around family? Did you revisit what was important and maybe what isn't important? And how have your planning assumptions and working assumptions for what the future can look like, how have those changed? And I think we've all had to reflect on those things. And one of the big items, the big questions I think is the right one to ask is, are there things you're worried about today and thinking about today, concerned about today, that we weren't 4 months ago, right? And I think if you ask your spouse, if you ask your partner, if you ask your kids, you ask your parents, that's a really important question. What's on your mind? What are you concerned about today that you weren't concerned about 4 months ago? Maybe it's health, maybe it's the health of family, maybe it's business, maybe it's how's work going to change. Do you like working from home? Some people do. Some people like, get me the heck out of here. You know, even our team, like we've got this beautiful office down on Bay Street in downtown Toronto. We don't need it anymore, at least at the moment. I mean, I've been sneaking in to make sure there's no raccoons in the place, and there haven't been. But we're considered essential, so we can go in, and we basically have the whole place to ourselves, so we can manage who's in and what time, and we never overlap, so we can follow the protocols. But I also see all the stickers on the floor. I see the stickers in the elevator. I see what the plan is for when people start coming back, and it's going to be a mess. And who's going to want to take the GO train and the subway and public transit or drive? Like, this is going to be really hard to figure out how we all come back to anything that looked like what it was before. So a lot of us, I think, are trying to assess what do we need to do and what do we want to do. What's actually been the positive of this, though, from a business perspective, is we've still been really productive. It's been 4 months and we're actually doing pretty good, you know. But that's not for me to decide. I hear from the team how it's going, but that's really your assessment, right? If you're a client of ours, tell us how we've done. Have we managed this as well as you want? Like, we're trying to figure this out and navigate it just like everybody else is. So if we're not doing something right, would you please tell us? Because we do want to get it right. If we're doing stuff great, tell us, we'll do more of it, right? That feedback, that interaction, that's really critical. You know, we tried to make the whole Zoom, GoToMeeting, Skype thing work for us. We're probably getting a bit tired, to be honest, because not everybody wants to do their hair all the time. But we're trying to make it work, you know, and honest to gosh, pivot is the word of 2020. And I hate saying it. I don't know if the better words oscillate or change or adjust, but certainly we've all had to adapt and hopefully be better, right, if we can, because of all this stuff that's going on. So I'm going to leave it there. Charlie and I are going to keep our stroll going on here. There's more stuff interesting pretty much in any direction I walk with him for him. So think about assessing when you hear the news and stuff on the radio and on television. Forget the W's and the V's and stuff. It's basically a K. And every business, every industry, going to be having winners and losers from this. But guess what? That's just the business cycle too. This one's just been accelerated. And I think more importantly, think about what this whole thing's meant for you and what's different. What are you worried about? What are you excited about? And share that with your family and your friends. And if we begin opening up and our clusters are getting bigger and our circles are getting bigger, I can't wait to hug everybody again. This is going to be great when all that stuff does finally begin to happen. So I think we've taken some relationships for granted over the years, and when you can actually reach out and shake hands and give a hug to the people that you missed, that's going to mean something really special, isn't it? So, okay, we're going to keep walking. I'll keep talking with you later. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Yes, I know, Charlie. Yes, we'll sniff it. Don't worry. We'll sniff everything.